Yeah. So unfortunately, we were involved in an avalanche. This was my second year with the snowmobile. I had the opportunity to start filming that winter for a project. And me and Mikey Cicerelli and our friend Sam decided to go out on a late December day. And unfortunately, there was another crew there that had set off an avalanche. And basically, the way it happened was we were on the side of the ridge in a nice protected pocket. And I was about to drop in for this little jump we had built. We were just like kind of, getting our feet wet, trying to test the waters. Me and Mikey hadn't really ever filmed or done anything. And I remember standing at the top of the drop in and all of a sudden hearing Mikey yell, "Avalanche, avalanche." And I looked to my right, and just in the distance, I could see these like car-sized chunks of like snow falling through. And it was like the most hectic, craziest moment of my life. We all ended up running, like ripping down to our sleds, getting on them with all our gear, of course, and going to the slide. And we had to perform a rescue. And it was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life.
Like walk us through like specifically everything that happened in this rescue, like from switching your beacon to search mode to just like painting a full picture of the scene.
Yeah. So after we saw the avalanche, instantly we all knew. We had known that there was a crew that was going up to that face. It was actually a face that we had talked about riding in the morning, but decided to pull back from it because we didn't think it was a safe option with the knowledge that we saw. But this crew had gone up there, so we knew that it was probably an avalanche incident, and we could hear yelling. We had ripped over on our sleds. We were only like a 30-second sled away from the bottom of the face.
With your backpack and everything.
Yeah, with our backpack. It's like one of the most important things is staying organized. Like you don't want your shovel here, your probe here, because you don't, like for us, like we knew we were in a safe zone, but like you don't know what's going to happen if there's another crew or like anything could happen out there. But anyways, we rolled to the bottom of the avalanche debris and it was massive. It was like size 3, huge, full face, rip to rip. Yeah, it was crazy. And when we got to the bottom, it was a crew of 4. 2 of them were at the bottom. 1 was at the top, and we were able to talk to them. Time started to move so slow, but it felt so hectic in the moment. And they were able to let us know that there was 1 buried. And the person up top, everyone was in search. And the guy up top was scanning on the way down just in case he got hung up on the trees. And we all flipped our beacons into search mode and started searching. While we were searching, there was a little bit of confusion with the beacons. It was like, that was one of the biggest things. Everyone was so like hyped up on adrenaline that one of the beacons was reading 50 or 5 meters, but they thought it was 50 because it was 5.0. And there was a little bit of confusion. But then in the end, Mikey ended up getting on a signal and started calling out the numbers. So I put my beacon away and pulled out my probe and just followed him because I was like, I'm not going to follow the same beacon path 2 feet behind him. And then Mikey was lucky enough to do the grid, fucking nailed it. And I think I probe struck him first hit, and then we just went into dig mode.
You guys were digging like crazy, I bet, right?
Yeah, crazy. We were really lucky because it was pretty cold at this point, so the snow didn't really like freeze up, but he was buried 2 meters deep. And when we got to him, he was face down. And I remember, like, when we got to him, I was full tears, like, freaking out. I did not know what we were going to see because he had to go through a cliff band and some trees. And it was, like, after being at the avalanche course, we know that, like, it's not just getting him out. Like, he could have had trauma. And I was like, this is going to be intense. And me and Mikey were both in tears. And then, lucky enough, we got to his airways, pulled out a snow plug, which was blocking his airway. And he was blue in the face and he started coughing. And his smile will be something that, like, I'll remember for the rest of my life. He, like, started coughing. We got him on his back and he just opened his eyes and started smiling. And then put on these sunglasses and just got up and walked out of the hole. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. We couldn't even believe it. The search and rescue that came, there was 2 search and rescue helicopters that came, and they were like, are you sure this is the guy? And he was in full like shock in the moment. And it was a moment that like most people go their whole careers with never having to deal with an incident like that. And it was pretty crazy. Second year in, pretty green having to deal with one of those situations.